Hello, bloomers and fellow YouTubers. Happy 2026! As an avid fan of the Cookie Run franchise, I'm of course looking forward to Kingdom's 5th anniversary event later this month, but also thinking about what else to expect later on in the year. So today I wanted to take a moment to talk about the upcoming cookies Dev Sisters has teased for the future, whether that be 2026 or beyond. Before we begin though, I do have to give a tiny disclaimer. I will be going over story spoilers for Adventure Mode Chapter 3 of Tower of Adventures. Also, through leaks, we know the names of the other first cookies from Witch's Castle, so if you don't want to know either of those pieces of information, then just letting you know now to click off this video. So we're going to go game by game and start out with Kingdom, only because it's the most popular of the Cookie Run games. So the last teased cookies that Dev Sisters had for Kingdom was, of course, everyone's favorite, the Beasts. And now that they've all been released, revealed, you might think that there are no currently teased characters in Kingdom. Well, you would be right, if we're only talking about the global version of the game. For those who don't know, China has their own unique version of Cookie Run, with their own characters called the Divine Beasts. They have revealed 7 of these characters to us, and only 2 of them currently have released. Their translated names being Soaring Snake Cookie being the first one, and Rosy Python being the second. Now, we're not sure of the identities of the other beasts, divine beasts, I should say, but we do know that this green one here is the next one to come out sometime, whether that be this year or probably later. I'm guessing probably later this year at some point. The other thing we know is that the 2 cookies in the middle are apparently a witch and a wizard, which would be pretty interesting, which I think are pretty interesting concepts. We have the first cookies, but having a wizard cookie, or a cookie who used to be a wizard, I should say, would be pretty interesting. Aside from that, though, there are no other teased characters from Kingdom, which is pretty fine. I like that. It's fine, but it's kind of surprising as well, considering how I'm gonna talk about all the other characters from the other games. Speaking of the other games, let's move on to OvenBreak. There are quite a few characters in Cookie Run OvenBreak that are going to be released that have been revealed. Specifically, the Nova cookies and the Weapon cookies, as I'm calling them. For the Nova cookies, we have 2. There are going to be 4, but of course we know 2 of them already, Stevia Nova cookie and Xylitol Nova cookie. The other 2 are Aspartamine cookie and Allulose Nova cookie. Aspartamine Nova cookie and Allulose Nova cookie. Currently, we still don't know what their designs are actually going to look like, so on that front, we can only speculate. As for the weapon cookies, we also don't know what their designs are going to look like. We don't even know any of the characters' names either. But I'm pretty excited for both groups. It's kind of cool that they have this air of mystery around them, and I'm sure that when they release, they'll have killer designs. Now, I would say that's all for OvenBreak, but we actually have another character that may or may not be a future legendary. So for OvenBreak's 9th anniversary, they released an update revolving around Milky Way Cookie, Dream Jelly Cookie, and Dreamweaver Cookie. It was a great update. I thought the story was pretty okay. But a part of the story makes people think there might be a future nightmare-themed legendary character coming to OvenBreak at some point. Part of the update revolved around going into other cookies' dreams, including Dreamweaver. In Dreamweaver's dream, they seem to run into a sort of clone version of themselves as they're traveling around a forest. This other cookie mocks Dreamweaver Cookie, reminding them that because people meet them when they're asleep, they don't remember them when they wake up. Dreamweaver Cookie tells this other clone that it's kind of part of the job, and that if a cookie were to remember them, it would be a bad thing. This other clone continues to mock Dreamweaver, however, telling them further that they know everything about them. Dreamweaver Cookie doesn't seem to know who this other cookie pretending to be them is, but they do promise that they'll show up again. Now, we don't know who this other character is, but a lot of people speculate that this might be a future nightmare-themed character. I just hope they're not named Nightmare Weaver Cookie, because that'd be a little lame. Now, as for OvenBreak, that's actually it. So let's go on and move on to Witch's Castle, because there's actually a lot of characters that are going to be coming in the future. Of course, we have the other first cookies. First green tea cookie, first sugary cookie, first salty cookie, first honey cookie, first yeast cookie, First vanilla cookie and then first egg cookie will become the last first cookie to become playable. We of course can't forget the first batch cookies. Each first cookie will have their own, so that's 6 more first batchers. And then also, each first cookie so far has had at least 2 epic rarity cookies that released subsequently after the first cookie did. If this trend continues, that would be 14 cookies. This includes if first egg cookie was to get 2 more as well, which she might not. But also we had to keep in fact that first cream cookie and first sprinkle cookie also had 3 friend ally epic rarity cookies. So there's a possibility that at least one or more of the upcoming first cookies will have a third one as well. So that's 14 to 16 about ish. And of course, we know nothing about these characters. We will at some point when the first cookies release. And who's to say that any of these supposed epic characters are even going to be playable? Rest in peace, Chickpea Cookie. I wish you were playable. Last but not least, we have Cookie Run Tower of Adventures. Thankfully, we've been given the names of the other Guardian cookies: the Water Guardian Aquaberry, the Earth Guardian Ground Oat Cookie, the Light Guardian Divine Cream Cookie, the Fire Guardian Phoenix Pepper Cookie, and the Darkness Guardian Enigma Seed Cookie. I am very excited for these characters to come out, especially Aquaberry. I just hope they get better reception from the fans than Wind Asparagus Cookie did. Last but not least, we have the Calamity Cookies. Of course, we know Melon Cream Cookie, but we also have the Calamity Cookie, the Famine Calamity Cookie, and the Pestilence Calamity Cookie. Now, we just got the appearance of the second Calamity Cookie in the most recent Tower of Adventure story, which was really awesome. And a lot of fans seem to be receiving this character very well. So we don't know their name or which of the calamities they are, but people are thinking pestilence, which makes sense considering the syringes and pestilence's plague. So that would make sense. It makes sense that they would be pestilence. And that's all the characters we know of so far. Of course, there are probably a bunch more that Dove Sisters is keeping hidden that they're going to release later this year or next year, or whatever, which is really cool to think about. So, who are you excited for? Are you excited for any of these characters to show up? Why or why not? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching my video.